getting it out. So, I got off work at 2 a.m., caught my wife texting a guy on Instagram. They were both saying I love you and baby babe stuff like that, and so I broke down and I left and stayed in a hotel. She later found me where I was staying after attempting to call me multiple times, and we talked about it while at the hotel. She confessed to me that she loves me and wants to stay with me, but she wants to date and sleep around with other people, and for me to do the same, pretty much having an open relationship. The reason for this is because we were together since she was 15 years old. We are 29 now. We got pregnant, so we got married at 18. She confessed to me that she didn't get to date other people or sleep with other people, and she wants to know how it feels like to date someone else and to sleep with someone else, since I'm the only person she's been with physically, and she's the only person I've ever been with too. After talking about it, I told her if she wants to sleep around with other people, then we can't be together, but if you want to try and save our marriage, you have to delete your Instagram. She broke down, of course, because she loves the guy she was talking with on Instagram, so I decided that she can continue to have that long-distance relationship on Instagram. If she promised me not to date or have slept with anyone else, I figured a long-distance relationship is better than having her date other guys, because I know she's going to get emotionally attached to that person and continue to sleep with them behind my back. I know anyone else would have left divorced, but I love my wife. We've been together since 15 years old, and I want to continue to be with my wife, so I want to fight for our marriage. So, my question to you guys is, my wife continues to have the urges to date and sleep around with other guys, and it makes me sad that she feels this way, and it's hurting our relationship. Separation. At the moment, it's not possible because we both don't have anywhere to go. We have 3 kids and we can't afford to make rent payments on our own due to the fact that we are both eyes deep in credit card debt. I've been looking and trying to talk with other women, but it's not going so well. I've had girls tell me and my friends tell me that I'm not ugly, that I won't have any problems finding someone, but I'm trying and no girl seems to be interested in me. Meanwhile, my wife tells me that she has been getting asked out left and right. But she has been telling them no, that she's married out of respect for me, but the temptation of guys constantly asking her out is getting to her, which is why she wants permission to date them. I already told her not to fight the temptations and to be strong, so as far as I know she hasn't done anything yet other than flirt with that guy on Instagram. We actually are very different, and we've been total opposites since the day we met. We were happy for the first 5 years of our life, but when our second baby was born, I just didn't feel connected with her anymore, like I wanted someone else, and she knew that I didn't find her attractive anymore, but she was still in love with me. I never cheated though, even though I didn't truly love my wife anymore, and the next 5 years was hell for her, cause I guess I was a jerk, but just last year she quit her job and she changed. She found a new job, told herself she wasn't going to let anyone bring her down anymore. She started dressing more revealing and she just looked beautiful to me again, and I fell in love with her again, and I changed to the man she always wanted me to be, but she no longer felt the same anymore, so it's like we switched places. She is a hairstylist, so she cuts guys' hair all the time and does waxes on them. So the same guys come in every week or two for haircuts, so one place where they feel a connection with her and ask her out. The other places are the grocery store she always goes to and the gas station she always goes to. It's the same guys flirting with her, making her feel special and asking her out. My wife is a very talkative person, good to talk to, that's why guys get a fats flirty connection with her. Update. She has a job, 2 of them. She works at a salon and just started a new job as administrator for her boss's school of cosmetology, so she will pretty soon start making good money. She takes care of the kids while I'm at work and vice versa. We don't have any family that can take care of them. My comment. OP is just a walking body now. If you don't have any self-respect for yourself, and your wife will never have soft respect for you. She's asking you to have an open relationship so that she can meet this other guy. But she has already cheated on you while she was being deceitful and dishonest. Emotional cheating is just as bad as physical cheating. There is no way that you should open up your relationship, which she has already shown that she is willing to place a bomb on the foundation of your marriage with her. Do you really think that even if you say it will be a long-distance relationship over Instagram, that it will not officially become physical? That distance will close the more they fall in love with each other. Do you think she's going to tell you if this guy comes to town to see her? Absolutely not. She is not going to tell you that he came to see her, and now we will have to worry about this guy coming into your home while you were at work. You are setting yourself up for some major pain. No woman is going to have respect for you unless you respect yourself. You should divorce her immediately, but you say that you love her, but you will it to be okay with the fact that she loves you 50% as much as you love her. She's saying that she wants to split her love for you, the guy who is the father of your children, with Aiden, no-name guy that's on Instagram that has probably been talking to several women at the same time without her knowledge. But she's willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that he loves her. Don't be a fool. I am telling you need to stand up for yourself, because obviously she's trying to cut your knees to shorten your respect for yourself. She damn sure wouldn't have wanted you to do the same thing to her. But like I said before, do you think she's going to tell you if this guy closes the distance to see her? Do you think that she's going to tell you if he comes into town to see her? Do you think she's going to stop yourself from sleeping with this other guy when you have no idea that he is in town? Because initially is going to happen. Your wife doesn't respect you. So, you need to respect yourself more at this point in time. Story 2. We've been married since high school, 20 years this year. I married young to escape a difficult home situation where I was raised in a restrictive religious cult. He was my first physical experience. I didn't know anything about being a real wife or about real life and hated bonding for a long time. After kids, that changed. Now I have a physical drive and I'm interested in lots of men and feel cheated out of a fulfilling physical life because I was basically forced into an early marriage. I want everything I missed out on, everything that normal people have before they settle down. But, big but, I love my husband and don't want him to be hurt. We've spoken about this many times and he understands where I'm coming from. However, he just can't bring himself to open up the marriage, even though I am more than willing for him to find other partners. I think it would be good for him to have the same experience, as we both missed out. He is completely uninterested. He wishes he could grant me what I want, but he says he is worried about pregnancy and disease. I don't really believe that. I think it's male pride or some sort of cultural aversion. I know everyone is going to say get a divorce, but that's not what either of us wants. At least not yet. We have kids and a home and property and a life. I think it is ridiculous to blow that all up because of bonding. There has to be middle ground, some agreement to be reached. I just don't know how to reconcile all of this. I'm being completely honest. I love this man. He is part of me and I can't imagine a life without him. We literally grew up together. I love him. He loves me. I'm just tired of mediocre, boring bonding and tired of knowing that there is more that I don't know. I definitely don't want a plan B. I would never ever marry or get into a serious relationship again. Never ever. Once is enough for this lifetime. I can't emphasize enough how much being married has turned me off the whole institution. Quite the quandary, isn't it? A woman who despises marriage wants to save the marriage she has, while still finding physical fulfillment. It does seem like an impossibility, seeing it typed out like that. Husband and I had another long talk. He could see I was upset and he wanted to know what was bothering me. I told him that we needed to fix things in the bedroom and he agreed, but neither of us have any idea how. We spitball a few ideas and then the topic of threesomes came up. He's fine with adding a woman but draws the line at a man. I'm okay with either, but got angry that he got to make that decision. That there is pure male ego and male pride and I'm not having it. He is fine if I sleep with another woman, but not a man. So, he's not worried about me falling in love or running off or any of that romantic crap, because I could do that with a woman too. I'm attracted to women but have never been able to pursue that. His hesitancy is pure male ego, and that is just such a huge turn off for me. Anyway, we hash things out and we are going to try and figure out ways to get him to last longer and spice things up, and if that doesn't work, revisit the issue. He's thrilled that we are going to have more bonding and do some things he wants to try. The talk just left me annoyed and more disillusioned than ever. To the people questioning my background and how I ended up married, I grew up in a fundamentalist Christian sect that practices shunning. I fell in love with a non-believer and had to get married or be shunned. I got married. I still got shunned. No family attended my wedding. I am currently shunned. My husband suffered mistreatment at their hands as well. We were just kids, desperate to be together but had no idea what we were doing. Certainly no one gave us the talk or told us to wait to get married. I grew up being a wife and raising babies. I signed away all my rights to an autonomous life before I was even old enough to know what the hell I was doing. That said, we managed to build a decent life together. There are businesses, property, assets, children, and we love each other. Neither of us are willing to blow that up. So, we will keep having these talks and I will keep living in frustration until something gives or changes. Menopause can't be that far away. Why can't I love and care for one man, my husband, and still want to have a physical experience with other people? Why are the two exclusionary? What makes being in love with one person shut off all the other physical feelings one has for other people? Because if there is a switch that is supposed to flip when you fall in love, blocking out the need for sleeping with others, I don't have that switch. I agree totally that I should never have gotten married. I am not marriage material and I never have been. But I'm stuck in it now and trying to make the best of it. Fair point. I am in general an unemotional and logical person. I am a scientist. I see bonding for what it is and I don't get emotional about it. I don't bond through it. It would be uncharacteristic for me to get stars in my eyes over bonding when I never have had a single romantic feeling in my life. I'm actually uncomfortable with the thought of bonding over a good time. It seems like a foolish thing to do. I never said I wouldn't continue to sleep with my husband. I want the third party in addition to my husband, not in place of. Husband and I just spent half the afternoon in bed. He gets plenty of fun. I never said anything about cutting him off. He is the right person, besides this issue. I'm not attracted to him but I love him. We rely on each other for everything. He's a very good man. I don't want to divorce him, and he doesn't want to divorce me. Just so long as I conform to the rules he makes, which is where I'm bucking. People who are going to question me. What generation are you from? My reputation. Men have no problem hitting on a married woman. Single men, married men, young men, old men. They are all the same. I had 2 slides into my DM on FB tonight because I changed my profile pic. Finding a third party would be the easiest part of this whole thing. I've no fear of growing old alone. Spending my golden years alone is not a bad prospect. If he agreed, I would be free. All I want is my physical agency back, the freedom to choose who I have slept with. He holds the keys to that. My resentment towards him is growing by the day though. I just can't respect a man who is so obtuse and stubborn. I skipped Easter with his family. I can't even look at him right now. He is still very hesitant about fully opening the marriage and I am still insistent on it. It is non-negotiable for me. He has asked for some time to adjust and deal with his mental issues regarding what's to happen. I've agreed to wait for a while longer. He agreed to going to a bonding club in Toronto as a way to step into the waters, and he has some fantasies he wants to play out. I've been wanting to go to the club for a while now, and it's encouraging that he is looking forward to it. After many long discussions, it seems he has a lot of hang-ups about bonding and is intimidated by my forwardness and open-mindedness. A lot of his pushback about the open marriage is fear-based and not at all logical, which we will work to overcome with time and effort. He thinks I'm looking for romance or a replacement for him, which couldn't be further from the truth. He's worried that I'll get pregnant or get a disease. I told him I'm too old to get pregnant and explained how fertility works at my age, and that seemed to calm him down a bit. I dug around a bit to make sure he wasn't harboring any notions of ownership or control, jealousy, or male ego, pride, and that that's not what was stopping him. Initially, I thought that he was against the open marriage because he thought he owned me or had a claim on me, and that made me so freaking furious that I was a bit harsh with him. I simply won't tolerate any of that nonsense. He kept referring to me as my wife and I don't want my wife doing. And we had to hash out how that wasn't appropriate. We've talked about seeing a marriage therapist, though I think it's a waste of money. If he books the appointment though, I'll go. I'm in individual therapy for depression and anger issues stemming from my childhood. We both have massive amounts of childhood trauma. We talked again of divorce. It's not off the table, but it's not a choice either of us want at this moment. I explained to my husband as clearly as I could that more than random bonding, I want freedom and autonomy. I want the freedom to decide who I have slept with, or even if I have slept with. Those two words, freedom and autonomy, mean more to me than any others. True freedom and autonomy and monogamous marriage are incompatible. You can't have freedom and be traditionally married. Beyond that, I want what I missed out on by getting married as a stupid kid. I want my husband to have the same experiences. We both missed out on so much of life. It is embarrassing and humiliating to be this age and to have had only one physical partner. It is my biggest regret in life, and it's time to fix it. I opened an Ashley Madison account and was immediately slammed with offers. I'm not interested in any of them. The whole thing feels pathetic, grimy, and seedy. I don't think I'll find what I'm looking for on sites like that. I haven't even looked at Tinder or the other sites. I don't know how to find potential partners. I assume, hopefully, the swingers clubs will provide some idea of how that works. I know there are open marriages and swingers on here, so let me know. I live a very quiet and reserved life, so I'm not sure how to even find a partner without resorting to something like Ashley Madison. There is nothing in this world that could make me want another relationship with a man. I am repulsed by the idea. It's bad enough that I'm in one now, not looking for another. I expect my husband to accompany me on this journey of growth and discovery. That is not asking too much. I'm being very transparent. It's like no one can grasp the concept of wanting no strings attached time. No romance, no relationship, no looking for the next better deal. Honestly, ask yourself why I'd jump into another relationship with another man when I despise the very idea of a man having any sort of control over me. There is no incentive for me to find another man. Men have one good feature, and that's all I'm interested in. I guess we hang out with different types of people then. It's very normal from what I've observed. I've never tried it, so maybe I wouldn't like it, but it sounds absolutely perfect. Having a casual physical relationship seems to me like having a pet, but without the work. And I have thought about doing OnlyFans. I'm not at all opposed to it, but I think I'm too old now. I am exceedingly bitter that I got married. I was a stupid, desperate, brainwashed child. I didn't know any better and did what I thought I had to survive. There are big parts of my story that I'm leaving out that would probably help this all make sense, but I'm not comfortable explaining everything that happened. I have to stay married for financial reasons and because I do love my husband. We have a life together, a mortgage, businesses, property. Why ruin all of that over crappy bonding when the solution is so easy and so obvious? I may seem bitter towards other people's marriages simply because I think the institution has outlived its usefulness. I feel sorry for other married women. Marriage is outdated and affair is normal, and those who claim its benefits seem suspicious and fake to me. I've never seen or been exposed to a marriage that was a good one, though, so I will admit my bias. There is a less than 5% chance that a woman 40 or over will get pregnant in any given cycle, and that chance decreases with each cycle. So yeah, the chances of a surprise pregnancy are close enough to nil to be disregarded. Not that it never happens, but the likelihood is so low that it sure won't keep me up at night. My husband has all the freedom in the world. He can leave if he wants. I'm not stopping him or barring the door. Where am I gaslighting? I keep getting accused, but no one is pointing out what I'm saying that's not 100% true or accurate. I'm certain he's reading all of this. he may decide to comment. It certainly would be interesting. I don't intend to argue. I want differing viewpoints. I want to understand my husband better. His stubbornness on this issue is infuriating, and I want to know why he thinks and acts like he does. Unfortunately, there are a lot of cavemen, for lack of a better term, on here. The prehistoric mindset is difficult to avoid arguing with. I also understood that there are swingers and spouses with open marriages on this board. I'm interested in their perspectives. Well, if we're doing the math, I'm 41 and mid-cycle, so my chances of pregnancy are even less than 1% per cycle. Basically, if I was wanting to get pregnant, everyone would say I'm too old and would need IVF. The slim chance of an unplanned pregnancy at my age doesn't concern me one bit. Besides which, I'm in Canada and have access to safe abortion. Fear of pregnancy will not stop me. Diseases do give me pause. The thought of catching something disgusting from someone is a concern. Safe bonding and protection would be non-negotiable. That's another thing I want to learn about from other people in open marriages. How I stay safe and keep my husband safe are very important steps that need to be outlined before any of this starts. Domestic partnership is useful to me. I've explained here and to my husband that I don't want to be married, but I am stuck in it now. 18 is too young to make a drastic lifelong commitment. I don't care if it is legal. It's ethically wrong to allow children to sign away their lives before their brains are even finished developing. My political persuasion keeps getting called into this as though it were relevant. I'm not a liberal or a fan of truth or law. Literally all of this is my fault. I am the idiot who stepped up to the altar. I'm trying to fix this situation so it is livable for both of us. I just don't believe that bonding binds people. I think that's some emotional-based nonsense people trick themselves into believing. If bonding actually worked that way, no one would cheat and everyone would be thrilled with their marriages. But people cheat all the time, so it proves that bonding only creates imaginary bonds in the minds of weak people. It would be impossible to fall in love when one doesn't really believe in it and is diametrically opposed to having feelings for another human being. Whatever love I have belongs to my husband and kids. I don't have anything else to give. We just had a long talk about this and I will be financially set for 3 to 4 years plus alimony in the event we do divorce. So that takes a huge burden off of me and removes some of the feeling of being trapped. He reminded me I'm a 50% stakeholder in 3 businesses, plus all of our assets are in my name. So, while it may look and feel like I'm a worthless stay-at-home mom, I actually have a fair bit of leverage. I feel worlds better knowing that. We talked about him falling in love, since that is much greater possibility. I told him I would not stand in his way if he found a better deal. If he wants to go, more power to him. I would wish him the best. I certainly wouldn't beg him to stay where he doesn't want to be. He loves me. We grew up together, built a life and home together. We have kids. There's businesses and property. Neither of us thinks it is worthwhile to destroy all of that over a philosophical difference of opinion. He knows he will have to come around to my way of thinking. He's getting used to the idea. He will come to accept it in time and everything will be fine. I don't intend to ever speak to my husband about my extra experiences. They will be for me alone. I told him I don't ever want to hear about what he does on the side. I don't want to be a jealous wife, so I don't want to know about it. He is free to do as he pleases, but I don't ever want to know what happened. It will be a don't ask, don't tell arrangement. If he wants to brag about it to his friends, that's fine. I don't ever want to know. He is a free adult, making his own choices. Another woman's husband. You make a grown man sound like a pair of shoes or a purse. Married men have made passes at me since I was 14. They certainly don't hold any out-of-bounds position in my mind. Comment: I don't think she has any idea what she's getting into. She says she wants more man, but what does she have to offer herself? She had better be pretty damn talented in several ways if she wants to be successful, but the experience just isn't there. And she cringed about butt stuff. That's the least of her worries. That is if she meets a very imaginative man. OP responds: you realize men are a dime a dozen, right? I could have a hookup plan for tonight if I wanted. I could lay out my rules and my physical menu of things I'm willing to do and just pick from the takers. Who cares what the man wants? He gets an orgasm regardless of what I do or don't do. I opened an Ashley Madison account yesterday and my inbox is full of local married men looking for some strange, nasty pics and all. I could lay flat on my back and starfish and still be doing them a favor. The supply of men far outstrips the demand. I could be 250 pounds, a smoker with bad teeth and hair on my chin and still catch one of these losers. My comment to the wife: be careful what you wish for, just might get it. She doesn't love her husband, and I hope to have a husband realizes that the marriage is over the moment that he steps into that club is the moment he loses his manhood. He will not be able to recover, cannot handle it, I know, so the only reason he agreed it's because she has been festering him on and on and on about it. But the moment he goes to that swingers club winter, and a moment when she decides to hunt down with some outfit chat, and the moment that he sees her is the moment he's going to feel the pain. He may cry in front, he may be really painful. The marriage is over, and I think the best course of action will be to divorce before you hurt somebody else even worse. A husband that woke up every day to go to work, sacrificed hours of his life to raise you and offspring to have a better life. He builds a name for himself at work, at church, at the community, and to throw it all away. All for, oh, I haven't tried a big dude. Go ahead, eat your cake, just don't complain about disease. Be prepared to divorce, because you are messing with fire, and I'm telling you, you will hurt your husband more than you could ever imagine. Many military veterans wish they would have passed in battle rather than seeing their wives cheat when they were out fighting, with the potential they couldn't ever come back home. And they thought they had a loyal wife. Like I said, you are messing with fire. And if that fire spreads elsewhere, don't you even come back here and complain. We told you so.